We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and wanna grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
That's the problem. Yeah.
But I have my spots, and then when I go on the road, it's just all out the window. It's just like, well,
so
forget
you come
about
home bigger, you come home fat.
I mean, and the fucked up thing is, at my age, as you know, I'm sure you can attest to, but also you probably have better metabolism than I do. Like, you're a skinny guy, you know? Like,
yeah, well, it's slowing up as I get older.
Yeah,
like.
of course. But I've noticed the last couple tours, like I get back from tour and like, now this is my body.
Yeah.
And then like I can exercise and stuff, and like I'll lose a little weight, but like it's my body. This is it. This is how it is. Unless I were to really go in hard and like be a gym guy or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna happen. So so every tour it's like, all right, this is the new me. I guess I'm this guy now. it's like a caterpillar shedding its skin, but it's like a fat butterfly comes out.
Yeah, it's like you get fatter. The caterpillar.
Yeah. Like I become a fatter caterpillar.
Right. There's no butterfly. It's just another caterpillar every time that's a little bit fatter.
Exactly.
It can barely squeeze out of the previous skin.
Wait, are we recording this?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
Wait, don't know. I'm just saying you can.
Don't play that.
Don't play this. No one needs to know that I'm a fat caterpillar.
Right. Morphing into an even fatter caterpillar. Okay, so so we're here.
Hey, what's up?
Super Duty Tough Work. Special guest this week is Blockhead.
Hey,
welcome to the show, man.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, man.
I'm glad I got the day off and able to do it. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. It's dope, man. You're on tour now.
I am.
You're headlining the tour.
I am.
And
it happens. It happens.
It's real sometimes. Yeah, that's awesome. I went to the show as much as I could last night, and it was just a good turnout.
It was, man, I had no idea Columbus would go off like that.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Shit, what's up, Columbus? Thank you guys for coming out, man. This is like my first real show here, I think. And, you guys heard the show. We got pretty low in Arms and Sleepers, everybody. They're all lovely men. I'm Blockhead. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm not going to talk anymore. Just play music.
I was very happy with that turnout.
Yeah, because you were, like you said, you were last here with the Capture the Sun release party with Logic.
Yeah, I mean, and that was we're trying to figure out when that was.
It was either 2012 or 2013.
Okay, so like that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and I feel like we brung you out here for one of our instrumental Critical Beatdown shows way back.
Was that at Scully's? Yeah, it was at Scully's.
Yeah, that went off too.
Yeah.
But that was 07, 08?
That was back when, before I was really doing a lot of shows too.
Yeah.
Like so it was a different time. Yeah.
Sure.
That show was fun though.
Yeah, that show was packed.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably did about 500, 600 people in there for that show.
That's a big show for me now, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good pull.
Yeah, I think it was you. We had a DJ battle on it. And then we had an instrumental band on it.
Yeah.
And it cracked. Yeah. You know, what's funny is looking back then, you were kind of ahead of the curve in terms of playing those types of instrumental shows.
I mean, for hip hop guys, maybe.
Yeah, for hip hop. It's like you were using the laptop. You were playing instrumental sets without turntables.
Yeah. Well,
at that time it was like
they're like, well, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm lucky that time caught up to me in that sense because like I still like I never DJ'd really. Like I have DJ'd, like I played around and like DJ'd bars and stuff like that. But I don't like scratch or blend or like I'm not a DJ. So when it came time to tour, like I was like, oh, I gotta use this computer for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, but coming from a hip hop background, I was always like, oh, this is really not okay what I'm doing. But because I play for audiences that are kind of more electronic music or instrumental music, they're so used to that shit that like it never bothered them. And when I first toured, I used to tour with DJ Signify. Yeah. And he was scratched. Was he at the Scully show? I don't remember. I don't think
he wasn't there. No.
But like, so I'd have him, he'd be scratching, and then me doing the music stuff. And like that was okay. Yeah. And then slowly I was like, you know what? No one cares. Like they don't, like people don't care that he's here. And it's a whole other extra thing. Yeah. Because I got used to doing shows with other people in the same vein as me, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like you can do this. You can just like, and now I have visuals, you know. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that like my live show is an exciting thing to watch, to behold. It's cool to listen to. Yeah. And there's a vibe, and you can kind of it's definitely, if you like my music, it's awesome because it is like this thing that you can't hear anywhere else. But on a visual level, it's like instrumental music is like boring as shit on it.
Yeah, because it's a different expectation now, which is like you're saying, coming from hip hop, it's like if you're not rapping, you need to be physically doing something.
Oh yeah,
with your hands, like, and that requires like a whole different thing than what you're doing. Yeah, with the lap. It's whole. Yeah. I also wonder sometimes, did you ever worry about like? Remember you had the era of like when Girl Talk came out and people were like, he's just standing there with a laptop.
Oh, yeah.
You were pre-Girl Talk with that.
I was, yeah, but I was doing something different. I don't even know what Girl Talk does.
He for a while, he just plays party remixes and mashups, but he was just kind of, he blew up and was playing in front of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people in like, on the strength of a couple mixtapes. Right. And then there was this kind of a backlash because he was like a laptop DJ.
Well, that's the thing, is a laptop, because like the people who do like laptop DJ stuff are people that there's dudes that literally like press a button. Yeah. And then they're just pumping the crowd. Right. And they're literally not doing anything. Like they're literally just playing a pre-made thing, and so that like I fear that that's what people are reading that I'm doing. Yeah. But like I'm actually I am doing stuff, but it's just like nothing to watch. It's just like I'm pressing buttons. I'm launching things, but that whole thing, like the party DJ where they just stand on the table and like pump their arms and get excited. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Like I mean, people love that shit. Yeah. People dance. I mean, it's just girls want to dance.
Yeah. That's a reality that I think. I started kind of looking at like this discography of some like instrumental guys that I liked, and I was just like looking at their catalogs, and what I noticed is that over time everything sped up. Yeah. And I wondered to myself, like, is that because when you first start making this music, you're not playing out, and then you play out, and you're like
100%. The first time I did a tour ever, I was opening. I have a funny thing with the first. So Ninja Tune's the label I was on in the UK, and that's a huge label in the UK. It's an indie label, but it was a big deal. And I didn't know the strength of the label as an American. I was just like, oh, I've heard of it, but whatever. So the first tour I went on was with like Kid Koala, who's like one of the greatest DJs of all time. I mean, like literally, like not even just like, oh, I scratched. Like he's the most incredible, the most creative DJ I've ever seen in my life. Cold Cut, who did that remix of that Eric B. and Rakim song back in the day, 7 Minutes of Funk, or Thinking of a Master Plan. They did a famous remix, but they're huge in London. And then Amon Tobin, who's this big huge producer, and me, and then who played before me, Diplo.
Oh no! Yeah.
Who opened for before me? Yeah, is Diplo. So that was a funny tour, and yeah, I just remember being on that tour, being like this is insane, and I had all my albums down tempo, it was very slow, and so my set was mellow. Yeah. And I remember just watching the crowd just like look at me. I was like, this sucks. And then the next time I did it, I kept, it was a little half and half, but I kind of sped up certain parts. I kind of like I started using Ableton, and that opened up my horizons a lot. And so I started doing like a little more mashups and kind of things that were a little more like up tempo, but still the same music. And then, now it's like, all right, this shit starts at 98 BPMs. Yeah. For my live show. But I did come back being like, maybe I should make faster music. And then I was like, nah, I don't listen to this kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah, so, I made one album that was upbeat, and that was the special album, Uncle Tony's Coloring Book. And then but everything else is like, you know, it has ups and downs. You know, like your albums,
Yeah.
you got fast songs, you got slow songs, you got all sorts of shit. So
Yeah.
but people that get influenced by the live, I've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them though. Like,
because I mean, I would imagine the faster your music is, the more opportunities that you get for different kinds of gigs, right?
oh yeah,
And
festivals, and there's a lot of money in festivals. Yeah,
Yeah, I played my first instrumental set last year, and I was like, that was one of the biggest thing that jumped out. Like, oh, this is kind of slow. 80 BPM. Might not.
Yeah. Well, but now it's different. It's because trap kind of slowed things down.
Yeah.
You can fuck around with like an 80 BPM thing, and people will just kind of like double time bop to it.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I started, it was, you know, I had a couple songs that were like 65 BPMs, and there's like like slow beats, and the crowd would just like die. And that's the funny thing about crowds though, is that like, and I know this from DJing too.
Yeah.
They're so fickle.
Oh.
And from like my set literally changes every 8 bars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're bored with this part, don't worry. Literally in 7 seconds, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And I see people in the crowd just disassociate.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, and they're like, no. And then it's so. And when I DJ, I'd be playing like, you know, playing whatever, like, you know, old soul music. People are dancing, and I play one song. They're like, people are like, nope, I'm gonna leave this bar because of this song that I don't feel like dancing to, even though it's gonna change in 3 minutes. Like that stuff to me, it's so crazy to me that people are like that. But
and well, you can clear the floor with one wrong song.
oh, I've done it many times. I mean, sometimes on purpose. Sometimes
Really?
it's just, it's like 3:30. It's like, let's get everyone out of here. Let's put on,
throwing
put on something.
Luther Vandross record.
Yeah, exactly. Put on 100 Ways by Jeffrey Osborne. And see if we can get out of here.
Enya on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're not dancing to this shit, buddy.
You'd be surprised. People.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that was one of my biggest takeaways from DJing. I was DJing before I was making beats, and what I learned in doing it, because I just ended up becoming a party DJ. I didn't set out to do that.
It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, well, shit, this is how I get paid. So, yeah, I'll take that gig. But one of the first things I learned was like, okay, you can lose this whole dance floor. You have to build up to get them there. And if you lose them, it's hard as hell to get them back.
The pressure's crazy to keep, and like, and now it's like it's. I feel like I have a lot of friends who DJ, and what they do is just they just know the songs that the people like.
Yeah.
And they're all like my age, so they're totally out of the loop. But people give requests, they write them down. So and they're straight up playing music they don't know or like, and that's just kind of. But they get paid, and that's their job. But like, I tried so many times in New York to do nights of like, I'm gonna play this kind of music. It's gonna be. I had a soul night. I had a gangster rap night. I had like all these different like ideas. Actually, I did a dudes from Ohio, and I actually did that. And like they would always just eventually veer into dance party, because like you can only play so many Willie D songs before girls are like, do you have Rihanna? And like that's that, you know?
Yeah.
And once you get people dancing, even if you're kind of staunchly like, I stick to my guns, like you kind of want them to keep dancing because you know they're gonna stay.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's a better time.
Yeah,
it's a better time.
And you're partying too. It's like it all makes sense, but you know,
yeah,
I was limited by my what at the time I was using CDJs, and I was limited by what was on my CDs.
Yeah, that's hard.
So I was like, I got some Mystical. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, when we had our weekly event for like 3 years, my guy Detox, he would be the main DJ, and he would sometimes have his guys come in and DJ with him. And whenever they were bombing, he would be like, yo, Prank, go talk to them. Because he didn't want to tell them that they were bombing.
Because people would be on the walls?
Yeah. So he would start the night out, and from like 9:30 to 10:30, 11, he'd get it cracking.
Yeah.
And just as people are coming in, it's cracking, the vibe is good, dance floor is looking great. And then next thing you know, his boys be like, hey, man, can I get on now? And he couldn't like just say, nah, man, not right now. So he would let them get on. And without fail, they would plop. And
what would they play?
Whatever he was playing, they would play the
Arsonist B-side.
Yeah, the Roots remixes. Arsonist B-sides, you know, company flow when like girls are dancing to like Tupac, I Get Around. Yeah. Like it's not, no. Yeah. You don't want to do that. No. And every time he would be at the bar looking sad, and I'd be like, what's up, man? He's like, man, can you go talk to him? And so I learned how to have conversations with guys about bombing.
Like sensitively.
Sometimes and sometimes no.
Yeah.
Because I was drunk too. So
You're like, hey man,
yeah,
fix this.
yeah, I would just be like, hey man, look out there, man. And they would be like, because they would be looking down at shit. They would never be looking up when they're bombing. They'd be looking down, looking at the laptop. And I'm like, hey man, just look up there for a second. And they look up and they're like, well, I was like, when you got up there, it was packed. Now everybody's outside smoking. I'm not telling you what to play. I'm just telling you to get the people back in.
You know what's funny is that so you know I sometimes get these gigs like in ski towns.
Yeah.
And I was complaining about this on Twitter the other day, and I had a dreadful ski town experience recently where I played somewhere in Vermont, Dover, Vermont, and they hired me and they paid me well. I was like, oh shit, all right. Yeah. It's this barn. It's an after party for like some skiing event or something like that. Yeah. And I'm there, and I know ski town events are inherently bad for my, because I'm not a DJ. I'm playing my music. All they want is a party DJ. Yes. Literally, it's the lowest common denominator. Like they want. Like they don't even want like cool DJ stuff. They want like what they're playing at like a TGIF Fridays bar. You know, they want like the lowest common denominator. Yeah. So like I'm there and like me and my opening act are there and he plays his show and like it's a big barn. There's a bar to the side and then the stage and there's like people in front of us and everyone's at the bar. Yeah. And he's playing and maybe like 15 people are like sprinkled in front of while my man's playing and he gets off. He's like, oh, that was terrible. I was like, oh, I know. So I go on and I have like, you know, sometimes if I know that's going to happen, I was like, well, I have a set that is like more upbeat and I can play like, I'll play like my dance set just to, you know, and I'm playing my set and no one gives a shit. And this one kid comes up to me and there's a really high stage and he holds his phone up to me and I'm like, what? And I try to read it and it says like a name of a song. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm yelling over the table like, I don't know what that is. And he's like, yeah, no, like play this. And I was like, I'm not a DJ. And he's like, oh, and he looks at me funny, and then he leaves, and you know, I keep just going because that's what I'm doing. Yeah. He comes back again with another thing, another request. I was like, I'm not a DJ. Like, dude, do you see turntables here? Then he comes back and he wrote out, no one's dancing. And I'm just like,
just what? In case you didn't know.
Yeah, and believe me, I can see like
because clearly
the
you
barren wasteland that is the dance floor in front of me. Whoops, and then this dude, I'm, like again, high stage, like this shit is like 6 feet off the ground, like it's a very high stage. This guy walks up while I'm playing, is like, and I'm playing. He turns to me, he's like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, good. Like I can't talk right now. He's like, yo man, you got any Skrillex? And I was like, I'm not a DJ. He's like, what? I'm like, this is my own music. And he looked at me like I had just spoken like fucking Chinese to him or something. He was just like, what? Yeah. And then he walked off the stage, and then my set ended in like 5 minutes after that. And it like, but that's it reminded me of being a DJ clearing the room. But in this case, I had no power to take it anywhere else. No, like I didn't have like, you know, Ariana Grande track in my chamber to put up there. You know?
Hey man, but no one's dancing.
Yeah,
it's the most like. What else can you say?
I want to be like, are you gonna dance,
right,
guy?
Right.
Hey, guy, are you gonna dance?
What do I need to play to get you out my face?
You play fucking Chumbawamba for you and just like, set this party on fire.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling, man. Yeah, every time I talk to somebody about that, they would just be pissed. Oh, but they wouldn't talk to me for like 2-3 weeks. And then eventually I'd see them out, we'd squash it, but they'd be like, yeah, man, I was so mad at you that night, man. I can't believe you fucking told me what to fucking do on the tables, bro. And I was like, dude, it's our weekly. Like, if no one is in there, no one's drinking. If no one's dancing, then we get paid off the bar. Mm-hmm. When you chase motherfuckers outside and they're drinking and smoking and playing double dutch outside the venue, that doesn't help us, man.
You can't play for dudes, man. You can never play for dudes. If you're a DJ, you cannot play because guys don't dance.
Yeah, unless chicks are dancing, right?
Well, then, yeah. And guys will dance to any, like, man, the shit I've danced to in my life, I don't dance. But the shit I have danced to has been entirely because there are girls dancing.
See? That's the key. Know? Yeah.
I used to go to an 80s party in New York. There's this party called Don Hills, at this place, Don Hills, that went from like 97, maybe 97. I was like 18 when I went there for the first time. Yeah. And I went until I was 29, like every week. And it was an 80s party. I grew up in the 80s. Like, I know that music. I'm familiar with it. Like, it's cool, whatever. I had never heard a song in 10 years. Like, I literally was just like there just talking to girls and getting drunk with my friends. And like that was the entire, but I had the best time ever. I would dance every week. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
We
Because
had
girls were dancing.
We had a night here called Ladies 80s. It's still going on.
I bet that shit
It's
pops
same
off.
type thing. Start cracking around late 90s, still goes on. 500, 600 people a week. And it doesn't matter what you feel. The party's so cracking that you have to just fall into the vibe. It's a good time.
Like, you got to be such a mad guy to get mad at music that makes girls dance. You know, like, you got to be like, well, put on some, you know, like, put on this old school, like no, man, like, no, I cannot play Ain't No Half Stepping right now.
Yeah.
I probably could, though, maybe, but probably not.
Yeah. And you know, our thing too was like, I didn't like telling fools what to play because I'm like, look, we would play classic hip hop but you still have to play things that people can dance to. That doesn't mean I want to hear a Artifacts remixed Wrong Side of the Tracks at 11:30 that no one's heard before.
That's that 9:30 shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Play that early so that at this time you can play, you know, Snoop Dogg and whatever.
You got it. Listen, you got it. You know, you can play like Chub Rock, Treat 'Em Right.
Yeah, you can play that.
They
that
don't know that
works.
song, but it's got a beat.
Makes
and they
it
can dance to it, and it won't make them leave.
Yeah.
As opposed to like taking it down to 84 BPMs and like, you know,
Exactly.
like a third bass song. No.
Yeah, that's just not gonna crack, man.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those at home, Blockhead's here.
Yeah,
and we're gonna
we're
talk.
chatting.
Yeah, man, we're kicking it. We're gonna talk about his career some, and we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. What up, everybody? Blueprint here to let you guys know that all 3 of my books are finally back in stock. That means right here, What a Night. This book is back in stock. It's $10. This is a book about the worst shows in my career. That's 10. Word is Blog Volume 1 is back in stock. That's $10. And also, The Making of Adventures in Counterculture. This book is about my Adventures in Counterculture album. If you have the album, you love the album, you should have a book too. That's $10. All 3 of these books are back in stock for $10 each, or you can get all 3 of them for just $25 right now on waitlist.net. That's all I got today. Thanks for your support. Peace. All right, super duty tough work here, Blockhead. Welcome to Columbus, man.
Hey, my pleasure.
I do want to talk about like on tour, like your technical setup, because I thought I saw like it was a Novation. Was it a launch pad?
Yeah, that's pretty simple. Just a launch pad and my laptop. And I mean, like, I've simplified my live set to something that like I'm comfortable doing it. And again, like I said earlier, like at the end of the day, like as long as like I can execute what I'm doing, like I don't need all these like bells and whistles to really. And a lot of like I see a lot with opening acts, like they'll bring like their entire studio on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, hey man, like you're gonna want to trim that down because like for traveling and just for you don't need it. Like, like people aren't that they're not that fascinated by you pressing this thing instead of that thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some people are.
But
it's not necessary.
In your lane, it seems like it's not necessary.
I'll tell you what goes over big is when a motherfucker brings a live instrument on stage.
Really?
And it's all in like the
like
more
a saxophone or like
on the hippie side of things, like people will bring like cellos and shit and be like, oh, cello. But it's like it's like some guy playing beats, and I mean it's cool, but it's just like people are so impressed by when they're used to computers. Yeah. And they see someone bring an instrument. It's like, you know, they're like, oh, I forgot these existed. People can play these, but, you know. Yeah, and I guess it's a good way to translate your talent because sometimes it seems like there's an assumption from a lot of people that if it's electronic, then it's not musical. Yeah, or there's no talent involved. Like, oh, well, they're just playing. It's like, nah, these guys actually know music. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're composing.
They're music theory guys. Like, like a lot of. I mean, like, listen, I don't know music theory, but I have my own music theory. Yeah, I know what I like. And I know what sounds right to me, and I know how like. I envision music and like how, well, you know, when I make a song, it's very mathematical and like, you know. Yeah. I mean, like it's people are excited to see that someone can actually like put their fingers on an instrument and like play it. There's this dude in Denver once who opened for me who played an upright bass. He rapped, he sang, he beatboxed, and he had another instrument and he had a laptop. Wow. And I was like, dude, it's 8:30.
Yeah, like, I hope he sold 1 million CDs
like,
that night.
I don't think he did. I mean, the crowd was really impressed, and it was impressive. It was one of these things. I was like, man, you're like one of those like guys in the street that plays like a one-man band. Like, you know. But it was one of these things I wanted to just be like, you know, you got to kind of pick your lane at some point and like focus on one. Yeah, because it's people spread themselves a little thin. Yeah, I don't want to shit on anyone's dreams, obviously, but like,
but it's true though.
You know, like I have some really talented friends who could never really focus on what it was they wanted to do. Yeah. So they did, you know, they made beats, but their beats were kind of like all different types of things, and it could no one could really grab onto what it was. And it's like, man, if you just focused on like doing this specific thing and focusing on that, like you would have been successful probably.
Yeah. How did you figure that out and focus on instrumental music for what you do? Because we've had conversations where you weren't even a listener of instrumental music. You were just a beat maker.
No, I mean I think that's how I've always been a fairly myopic person when it comes to music. Like I only listened to hip hop until I was like 18. Yeah. And then like I started slowly getting into like soul music and like kind of, you know, and I was aware of other music. Obviously I grew up, you know, my family had there's a lot of music in the household and everything. But so like being only hip hop was very easy for me as far as like as the type of music. And again, I don't play instruments. I don't, you know, like it wasn't an option. I couldn't just pick up his car and be like, oh, I'm going to play rock. You know, like it wasn't really there for me. But I don't know. Like, I think, yeah, it just that always just felt the natural drive was there. Yeah, there, and I couldn't really deviate from that too far. And the thing about not listening to instrumental music is that I didn't know what I was supposed to compare myself to. Yeah, like I had heard Introducing like 3 or 4 times. Like I liked a couple songs on it. I liked his production with rappers more. Yeah, because I like rappers. Like this, nothing against instrumental music. It's just like I preferred vocals. I still do. And so when it came time to sit down and make an album, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to make an album of what I think this is supposed to sound like. Yeah. And it was based on almost nothing. Yeah. And I did, and that was it. And that like that's and but it was a hip hop album. I mean, it was beats. Yeah, it was always just beats to me, you know. Yeah, it seems to me, and I wonder what you think about it. It seems almost like your lane found you. Yeah, more so than you looking for the lane. Yes, yes, yeah. You know, like they chose you. Like, hey, yeah, you're coming with us. Yeah, 100%. Well, and it expanded too, because like I got signed to a label that specializes in instrumental, like down tempo instrumental music. Yeah, and also it has to do with the equipment I was using. Like I was using my SR10 to begin with for years and years and years, and then I discovered ABLETON, and I was like, oh, this does everything, and like it kind of made the sampler less crucial to my creative process, because it did everything the sampler did and more, like time stretching, like that. And when I figured that out and kind of saw what that could do, like that, I took a sharp turn about how my beats got made. And like all of a sudden I was making like 6-minute songs that had like 55 samples in each one of them, you know, like that. And that just kind of, it just naturally turned that way, because I guess my whole idea behind making instrumental music was to not be boring. Because I think instrumental music is inherently boring, you know, because it doesn't change much, you know, or it's subtle, and you know, what makes it interesting is very nuanced. But like I want to be like, this moves, this goes places, this starts here, it ends there, it doesn't ever come back, and that's kind of where, like around with ABLETON, I was able to do that, and that's kind of where everything turned around. Yeah, for me, I found like the thing that got me into ABLETON was the time stretching. Like when I learned about warping, I remember somebody said it on YouTube. They're like, if you master warping, everything looks the same. Oh yeah. Did you have the same experience? Oh yeah. And by the way, mastering warping takes 35 seconds. Yeah, where you're just like click, click, click. Yeah, but like, you know, some people don't. Maybe they don't see it. They can't read it. They can't. It's weird. It's weird because like I have homies that I help learn ABLETON who still don't get warping. They still don't kind of get like where you should put the markers, how you should stretch it, how do you... That's so weird. They just, I guess it just doesn't, but you know what? You came from years of not having it. Yeah. And so did I. Editing samples. And, exactly. So I think I came from... Yeah, you know the one. You know, okay, I can use... This is only good for 3 bars. Let me snatch that other bar from here. Right, right. The people who go straight to that, I don't know if they have that going in. I think there's a lot of that in production. Like there's, because you know, it's so easy to make beats now, and like everyone can make beats, and like, and I'll see things that are so inherently signs of that people should not be making music. Like I don't know when something's out of key. Yeah, that's a big one. Man. Yeah, that's a red flag. You have to have pitch to be able to make. Like all I have is pitch. That's all I have. Like that's the only thing I inherently have as a music maker, is that I can tell when something sounds good on top of another thing. Yeah. And like there's that, or when people don't understand, like I remember this dude made a beat, and it was like the loop was a swing beat. Yeah. Like it was like a and the drums were 4 to the floor. Yeah. And I was like, yo, the drums are fucked up. He's like, what are you talking about? It's looped up. I'm like, no, like the swing is totally off. And he's like, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, all right, man. Good luck.
Do what you want to do.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But like those, there's simple things like that are very glaring and that tell me that someone should probably not be.
Yeah.
Be a manager.
Yeah.
Be a booking agent. Like do something different that is, that you want to be in music, but you don't have to. Or shit, learn to rap.
Yeah. You still got to count bars, though.
Yeah, that's true.
If you would do something as stupid as putting a four on the floor to a swing and it sounds like crap, then imagine how your bars would be falling.
But shout out to those rappers that don't count bars that somehow make it work.
Sadat X.
Sadat X, Billy Woods.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's never counted bars.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to explain to him bars and he'll end on like the 12 and a half bar and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Low Deck was like that. Low Deck didn't count bars at all.
You know what, you're right, because I did record with him once. Whatever come out.
But I kind of love it. Like there's something very pure about that because they would just write and then when the verse is done, it's done. and like Billy Wood's one of my favorite rappers and like he literally like his verse is his verse.
Yeah.
That's it. And I appreciate it. But as a producer, you got to find a way to like work around it. You're like, drop the drums a little bit here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. But I like that. It's a weird, like Sadat X, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's
not a bar counter.
I can't. No.
I'd like to see how his shit was written.
Yeah. There's no way it looks
just
like it sounds.
Yeah.
It's like what? He doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah.
Half the time. So if you're not even rhyming, how do you know the beginning and ending of a bar if you're not even rhyming at the beginning or ending?
Well, you ever like do that thing where you like read and in a rhythm and it doesn't like you're just reading a book or something and you try to read it in a rhythm? Yeah. That's what Sadat X's rhymes like.
That's what they sound like.
Yeah. But it's all the rhythm, the tone of his voice.
It's so true.
I heard Lump Lump came on the other day, and I was like, man, Sadat X was so dope.
Yeah,
like, I
used to play that record.
Oh, God, I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a period where he was like really cooking. But just really offbeat and not rhyming. But his voice and his delivery, he didn't have to rhyme. I'm like, that's a testament to you having some hella fly charisma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just the coolest voice ever. And also, like, side note, like any rapper who actually plays ball, I always have extra love for.
He plays ball?
He was apparently pretty good at ball, yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I heard that from other people around, but I was like, okay,
that's dope.
Respect.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. So like touring now versus back when you first started and using Ableton, like what I remember specifically is like you were probably the first person out of all of us to even adopt Ableton. Maybe one of the first adopters in our entire crew that I remember being like, yo, I'm using Ableton. It's great.
I had no choice. Because I had to tour.
Yeah.
I'm not a DJ. I can't bring the ASR-10 with me. I was using floppy disks. That shit takes forever to load. I wouldn't even know what to do. Like I'd literally be like, let me load up this new beat and here you go. Like it wouldn't have made sense. So Ableton was like the guys at Ninja Tune who are, they were up on that whole scene probably years before I was. They were like, you should really look into Ableton. And I got it. And I kind of, and I hate learning. And I'm bad at learning. I do it all. Like the way I use Ableton is totally backwards. Yeah. Like I've never met anyone who uses it how I do because I learned it in a very specific way. And like I literally look at other people's their files or whatever. I'm just like, what is that? Because mine doesn't look anything like that. Yeah. But I use it, but it works for me. And so I use it that way, And but I learned to use it specifically for touring. And then slowly I was like, this might be better than my sampler.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, do you still use MPC or
Ableton?
You're all Ableton, right?
Yeah, I switched to Ableton around 2013, 2014.
Oh, no shit. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you use like pads and stuff for the drums and stuff?
I don't, but now I'm starting to because I'm going to play more beat sets and more instrumental sets. And so it's like, I got to get something tactile because the times I'm up there, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable touching my laptop and scrolling and things. So I need some way to.
Well, MIDI keyboard, I use a MIDI keyboard for the beat stuff.
Yeah.
But also my Novation pad, you could pad drums on that kind of. But it's not as great. Like there's better pad for like I mean mine's better for live performance just because it's not. I'm not trying to like do like triplets and stuff.
Totally.
They've got good.
Yeah, I got the launch pad just recently. I had the mini one. I was just experimenting with that, but I like it. yeah, it's a whole different way to think about music. And the thing about Ableton I've noticed is that there's multiple ways to do any one thing. So it kind of lends itself to like you being like, I'm just doing my own shit over here, and no one understands it. Because like it threw me off when I first started learning. I was like, why are there like 3 different ways to chop a sample? There's not multiple ways to chop a sample on an MPC.
I still learn ways, man. Sometimes I'll be touring with a dude because like I said, like I only know what I know on that shit, and like. And I've toured with people who are like masters of it, and they'll show me something. I'm like, whoa, what? Like this dude, Lil People, once showed me how to chop a sample, and I forgot immediately. That's a fucked up thing. I was like, I want to use that, and then immediately I didn't remember how to do it, and I'll never know how to do it. But he showed me a way to like you put a sample in a grid, and it rearranges it for you. And I was like, wait, what? How did you do that? And like that's something I would probably use if I could remember how to do it. But I don't, so I just I edited myself, and I do it the hard way. I'm pretty sure I do it the slow way.
But I think that probably because we're used to that.
But I also will make a fully formed beat in like an hour and a half. So
that's pretty good. So like if you were to look at the songs that are on your new record, you would say that those are things that you just made in one session, one setting.
No, with records it's different because like I usually make I just make beats all the time. I make when I'm being productive, like when I'm not on tour. Like I've made a beat actually I made a beat like last week, but like I had made a beat for like 4 months. Because I was just touring and busy and whatever. And but when I get in the work mode, I would just make beats. And then when it's time to make an album, which is really like when I'm starting to feel like guilty about not making an album, I'm like, I should probably make an album. I go through those beats. I pick out like 30 of them that I think are like applicable to be an instrumental song, and then start coupling them up and seeing what could work with what. So and a lot of that, it's trial and error. Like sometimes the tone just won't work. But or they'll be too far apart in BPMs or something like that. Like I got to kind of find a happy medium. But then I just start grouping them up, and like those 30 beats become 12 songs.
And like, so instead of going where it seems like most people say, okay, I'm finding samples that go together. You're saying I already have beats that are made.
I have beats with like 8 elements in them already. And then another beat with 8 elements. Put those 2 together, sometimes 3 if it's a long song. But and I add other stuff after it that that will make the song complete and everything. But like for the most part, it's a composition of different parts from different places put together, and that's what Ableton allowed me to do. Like before that, I would just have a beat and then build off that one beat. Like kind of what I think you were talking about. Like that's with ASR. Like I would have to just be like, all right, start here. And ASR only had 8 tracks. So I'd have to do those and then like wipe the slate clean. If I wanted to add more stuff again. And then it was a tedious process to do that. And now in Ableton, it's like I have a billion tracks.
Plus unlimited sampling time now, which is something you didn't have on ASR.
No. Although I'd say I had a minute 30 on ASR.
Like you see how crazy that sounds now, though?
But I'm saying like that was enough. That was enough. I never ran out of space. I never ran out of space on Ableton.
Like you think about it, I thought about it the other day, like, yo, I went from with the first one I had like 40 seconds. I was like the EPS original. I was like, I had 40 seconds. Oh, this is crazy. I'm about to get crazy on y'all. Then went to like a minute and a half, and you're like, oh.
Did you ever have ASR, or did you?
I had the EPS, and then I had the EPS 16 Plus.
That's what L had, right?
Yeah, 16 Plus.
And then you moved to MPC.
Yeah, I went to the MPC 2000.
I've never used MPC in my life.
The MPC, man, it taught me everything about chopping.
I think that's why I'm not a choppy producer. I think because I never use it. With the ASR, the keys, you kind of end up playing. Smooth. I played more stuff and and manipulated sounds in a way that I wouldn't have done it with another sampler.
I think that's the main thing with the MPC is that, like you're saying, with the ASR, everything I made sounds smoother. More layering of things. Whereas with the MP, it was just like the choppy staccato sound of it. You just wanted to make those kind of beats all the time.
Drums, like I think it was better for drums too. Like I remember I was making beats with Chasm. Remember Chasm? Shout out to wherever he is.
In the Chasm.
Chasm. We were talking,
most fitting name ever.
He's probably. I'm telling you, he's in a gi somewhere. But I made my first beats ever with him. I went to his house. I bring samplers. He was maybe like 17 years old. I was like 18. No, shit. I think I was still in high school. So I might have been 17 and he was like 15 or 16. And I went to his house. I bring samplers and he was a really like a musical guy. Like he played instruments. He played bagpipes. Like like he went deep. And we made beats, and I would just sit back and watch him do it. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. We made some really cool beats. I mean, I was just like, do this, do that. Like that was my part. But But yeah, like he was using MPC, and I was like, damn, that's really cool. But for some reason, I was like, I want a keyboard. And I got the ASR. Like when it came time to buy it, I was like, I'm gonna get this. And I think about like how if my production style would have been totally different had I gotten an MPC.
Yeah, if you just started with MPC, it definitely would have changed it.
Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, because like you even think about somebody like LP, his style is not choppy staccato like a DJ Premier's is.
No.
You know, and I think that's largely because the gear doesn't lend itself to that.
Yeah, and well, he's and LP loves a stab, you know, like he already did back in the day. Like, like and that's just and that's such a ASR EPS kind of thing, you know. Yeah, like this one. Like that kind of stuff. Like really that kind of stuff. That's the keys right there, you know.
Yeah, playing a sample down the keyboard.
Oh yeah. I love that shit. I miss that. I do miss that, having that. I miss like because I don't use it's all digital, so you can't really go much slower. Yeah, and you'll lose quality. But on the ASR, like you could sample something and then play it on the lowest keys, and it would sound totally different. You'd be like, oh, and I would find stuff that way. Yeah, that element of creativity I do miss a little bit, but I don't miss anything else.
Yeah. Like tedious. How much of a part does digging still play in your music today?
I mean, I don't dig for records. I haven't dig for records in years. Okay. I don't. Because the records I want to sample are too expensive. Yeah. They're too rare. I'm not a record collector.
So you know what you want kind of ahead of time.
No, I just go. I digitally dig.
Digitally dig. You're online
digital dig. I got a couple places I go to. Like there's still some music blogs up that I take stuff from that are kind of rare music blogs. And there's a couple like groups I'm part of where people just throw up rare records and stuff like that. And I just rip those and go through that because because I don't have this like sacred feeling toward records. Like I'm not a nostalgic person really. I look back fondly on things, but I don't like to hold on to things like that. So like I'm not a collector. I don't. Yeah. And so records never really had this big part in my life. I was always just like you exist for a sample. Yeah. Like that's your existence to me. And I was going to dollar bins like bullshit like that. Yeah. And I don't sample music I like. You know, like that I listen to because I can't separate it from that. You know.
Yeah. Same here.
So like, just buy like a $40 bin, 40 records for $1 and then find it and literally whip it across the room when I was done with it. Like that, that's how I was. So I was like, why am I going to do that with like a $200 record?
Digging on that level has never been my thing. I always consider myself just like a beat maker. Yeah. Not a record collector either. Yeah. And it's just too expensive and it's getting worse every year.
That's what happened to it though.
Yeah.
That it got ruined because it got so popular. Yeah. And then record collectors, and that, like I'm not in the record collector support business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you decide this record's $80, it's a baseball card.
Yeah.
It's not worth $80.
Yeah.
And that's and listen, it'd be cool to have like guys like those crazy, like Egon and Peanut Butter Wolf, like those guys fucking dig and find these crazy records. Like I would love to have that kind of stuff at my fingertips, but I don't. So and I don't have the lust to find that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Like it's all disposable to me. In the sense that like it's there for me to use.
Source material.
Yeah, it's source material. Exactly.
Yeah, the irony of like the prices going up now is that the only reason those prices are going up is because guys like us sampled them in the first place. Exactly. Which means if you pay $200 for this record, it will have been sampled already.
Yeah.
Which is like that defeats the purpose.
I mean, you were a dollar bin guy, right?
I swear by the dollar bin.
Like back in the day, you would find crazy shit in the dollar bin, and the things I would find, like I always had specific things, like you look at album covers and like you like times and the record labels and you're like, oh, this and that. But like if I saw any world music from the 70s, I'm buying that. Yeah. If I saw anything that was like an instrument alone, I'm buying that. And like those are albums that are completely worthless. Like they're not fun to listen to. It's true. The people who made them probably haven't made music in 50 years. And they're for sampling as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So like, I don't know if the fact that I can't find those records anymore, like an Israeli klezmer album will be like $35. I'm like, really though? Really? And I got sick of the whole record. Just that the mentality of the collectors who are selling these things, or the record stores. I was like, man, I don't support this.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Like I look at some of my record collection now. And I'll go out digging, like you're saying. 90% of stuff I've got now was bought 10, 15 years ago for under $5.
You ever think of selling it back? Store credit.
Some of them. But then like they'll offer you fucking 35 cents.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, nah, man. Nah.
Well, I mean, to give you an idea of how little I am feeling nostalgic lately, I literally had this dude hit me up the other day because the only records I own are like mid 90s to early 2000s indie hip hop records.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty crazy collection of stuff like of that era, like, you know, like original pressings of like Dead Bent and like all the Fondlum stuff, all the co-flows, like that kind of like pre-Raucous.
Yes.
And you know, but I don't have a record player. I don't have a working record player. I have a broken record player. And I was just sitting in my apartment and I'm like, I don't need this. Like it's like I know it. I don't need to own this to prove that I know this shit.
Yeah.
Like what's the point of this? So this dude hit me up. He's like, yeah, I want to buy some records. I was like, come over, man.
Yeah.
Just don't rip me off. Just, you know, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of verse and I'm ready to sell it all. I'm ready to just go.
Some of my stuff I've been going through a couple crates upstairs just trying to sell some stuff because I'm like, I don't need to have all of this shit to make music.
Oh yeah.
Especially if I'm going to be moving around as much as I want to move around. You want to be nimble and you can't be having crates of records and just a bunch of shit all the time. You know, it's like get it on the hard drive, get your samples off of it, and then
Rip and run.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude, I can make beats on tour.
Yeah.
That, like, literally, I've made beats on the toilet before. Like,
I just discovered that, dude, like in the last year. I'm like,
on ABLETON?
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Get it.
I can do anything on this shit.
Yeah.
Like, the album I just finished is the first one I've ever done strictly on my laptop without going into my regular studio and touching any gear in there and just using the little tiny MIDI controllers.
Oh, wow.
Outside of that, I never did. I recorded all the vocals straight into my laptop. I mixed it with the monitors in there, but on my laptop. And I'm just like, yo, this is the new thing. I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
It's all about simplifying shit.
Yeah.
That's going back to what I was saying about like bringing stuff on tour and all these people with all these gadgets. I'm like, simplify.
Simplify.
Like you can tour with a backpack.
Come on, man. I sold 3 synths a few years ago. And with the money I sold them for, I bought like that Arturia synth, that B collection, whatever it is. Like these software, it's fucking crazy. I was like, yo, this shit sounds as good as the shit I got.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 sounds don't sound as good. I'm like, yo, it was the same. I just sold them so cheap. A dude drove in from Indianapolis because I was selling my synths for so cheap. He was just like, there's no way this could be real. He drove in and
why we sell you didn't want to
I didn't want to deal with him.
Yeah, I relate to that.
I priced him to sell. I was like, yo, 100 for that one, 200 for that one, 200 for that one. Dude was like, is this real? I was like, yeah, it's real.
How much are they worth?
Probably double that each.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't use eBay.
Yeah,
like I don't care.
I didn't want to go through the process.
Yes, I'm so that way about everything. Like make my life easier. Take it off my hands. Yeah, I don't care.
Right, I don't want to haggle, so I'm gonna price it low enough to where you feel guilty if you offer me less. Yeah, and then it just moves the same day. Yeah, and I don't have to think about it.
And then it's gone.
Yeah, I'm so glad I did that though.
I salute you, man. That's the way to live. Yeah, because really nothing's that important. These things we have.
No, it's just stuff, man.
Like, you know,
it's stuff.
I don't buy shit. I don't spend money on anything. I eat. That's all I do is eat.
That was my biggest I guess revelation. Like I lost my brother some years back. The biggest thing I walked away from that experience was that stuff don't matter. Yeah. When you gone,
it really doesn't.
All your family's gonna have is just stuff. And if you're not doing it with that stuff, or you don't have a way to get rid of that stuff, it's just stuff, man. Oh yeah. Like it's like, yo, this shit is cool as long as it's functional. If this helps me do my job better, keep it. I'm 100% on board. If it doesn't, it's stuff.
And what you said, like functional, everything in my life is for function. Yeah. Like I don't have like someone came over to my house the other day and I had I got like some art. My dad was an artist, so I have art on my walls. Yeah. And that's just there because my dad's art. Like it was there. I could take it. I could put it there. Yeah. But if it was up to me, there would be no art on my walls because I would not seek out art to find. And they walked into I was just showing them around the part, and then they looked at my bedroom and my walls are barren. And they're like, "This is ominous." I was like, "What? I don't need it. It's fine. I got a TV, got a bed, got a dresser,
laptop,
like
MIDI controller,
like." I'm chilling. Like I don't need more than that. And like you've lived in the same place for a while, right? Like I've lived in my place for like 17, 18 years now.
Yeah. I'm close here. I've been here since 04.
Yeah.
I think I grew up here, but then I moved back in 04. Yeah, so
02, 03 I think is when I got my place. And And I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's like, you know what? Like, what you ever think about moving and like getting somewhere, you know, a bigger place or something? I was like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine. I don't have a kid.
Right.
I'm like, I live alone. I'm good. I got this is. I don't need anything more. I don't need space. Like, you know, when Christmas comes around, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Socks. Give me socks. You can always use socks. Underwear, socks. That's all I want.
All the shit you hated when you were young.
Oh, man.
Like, do not give me that when I'm 15. I'll hate you. But at 30, 40, you're like,
yeah.
yes, draws, please.
Oh yeah, shit I don't want to buy myself.
Right.
I'm like, bed sheets, bet.
Yeah, need those.
Get me bed sheets.
Towels, yes, please.
Oh God, I need towels. Yeah, you just remind me. I should probably. Damn, my birthday's not till October.
Just put it on fucking
Gotta hold off
Twitter.
to-
Somebody will just buy them and send them to your house.
That is true though.
Yeah.
Twitter people are crazy.
Yo, Tony needs towels.
Yeah. Dude, I had people send me shirts with sloths on them because I like have sloth in my.
Yeah.
Or, like people are like, hey, can I get your address? I got something to send you. I'm like, that's suspect.
Yeah.
But I was like,
box.
all right, sure. You don't live anywhere near me. You're not gonna come kill me.
Yeah.
And then they send me these like awesome sloth shirts. I'm like, oh shit,
That's dope.
free shit.
See?
Yeah.
Towels are next.
Yeah, Italian. Give me sloth towels. Anyone watching this, give me 5 sloth towels.
Exactly. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? The deal we're running today on weightless.net is a 2-Headed Monster CD plus 2-Headed Monster t-shirt for just $20 total. That's the t-shirt and the CD for $20 total. The t-shirt we have in every size. That's small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. Every single size, men's sizes. We ship internationally. So you can get the CD and the t-shirt, or I should say CD and the t-shirt for just $20 on weightless.net. Go there right now and support the movement. Thank you. Peace. Here we are. Yeah, this is cool, man.
We're back.
y'all.
We're back. Yeah, well, you and I haven't seen each other in a while. We haven't talked.
I know. Yeah, when I saw you last night, I was like, damn, do I want to talk too much and then I have nothing left for tomorrow?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But
I
you
was
know,
like, okay.
there's always stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah. We haven't even really started talking about things.
Yeah. I want to talk about just like comedy
Oh yeah.
with you because what I notice about you is kind of like out of a lot of guys, even guys who rhyme struggle with finding their voice, with projecting their sense of humor, especially on social media. Like you don't even rhyme, but you do.
I used to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You probably still got some
my
bars.
origin story.
Right.
Bars.
Yeah. I assume there's a reason you stopped rhyming. Yeah.
I met Aesop.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, that's a rapper. My bad. Never mind.
Exactly. Yeah, but like you tend to use humor in a really, really dope way on social media.
I try to.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's more who I am than my music is. Like I'm a jokey, funny guy. Like if I hadn't been making music, I probably would be doing something in that realm or trying to at least. You know, like something like writing something. I don't know.
Well, growing up, you were into comedy.
Oh yeah. No, I used to have my friends and I had a public access show in New York for 3 years in the late 90s. That was us just doing improvised skits and voiceovers, and it got like fairly popular by those standards. Like MTV called up and were like inquiring about it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we were just so dirty. It was just like it's just like you were like 19-year-old kids just like making dick jokes for 30 minutes, but like it was funny. Like we could do characters. Like I did like improv. I took acting classes, and I got 3 acting classes, and I was like, nah. I was like, nope. Yeah. I realized it wasn't for me. But yeah, I just I made the Party Fun Action Committee album. That's definitely still honestly one of my most crowning achievements. I'd say is like I'm more proud of that than I am of most of my real albums, because it was like that shit was labor. We really labored for that. And, like worked hard and like. I did vocal, all these things, but yeah, like it's fun. Like I love Twitter. Like, I love it. Like Instagram's fun, but Twitter is really where I feel it's funny because I know how people get attacked for jokes nowadays and stuff like that. And that happens to me sometimes, but like I do feel kind of safer in Twitter than I do anywhere on any other social media.
But definitely more than Facebook, I would imagine.
Oh, Facebook, I stopped. I used to post jokes there all the time, and I was like, nope, we're done here. Done here. I stopped posting political opinions. I stopped doing it. Like Facebook is just insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you realize how many Trump fans you have.
Well, yeah, I mean, your music doesn't have any words to it.
I know, but it's like I'm like, how'd you find me?
Yeah, hey,
I was like,
well, we talked about it last night for a second. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. You look around the room, you're like, how the fuck did you get here? And this pack of people is different from that group of people. It's like,
but like I didn't do a Toby Keith remix. Like, I don't know what they found.
hey man, what did Michael Jordan say? He said, hey, Republicans buy shoes too.
Yeah. It's true, but I straight up, like, there have been times where, like, you know, I've like, Trump has done some crazy shit and I've just been fed up with it, and I'll just post him just like, hey man, if you fuck with him, you can just not fuck with me. It's okay. I don't mind. And people are like, you're turning your back on your fans. I'm like, on those fans, yeah, I am. Sure.
But again,
I disagree with them. I disagree with how they live their lives.
Yeah.
But you know.
But yeah, I mean, but you joke about everything though, which I think is
A lot of sex jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta watch that sometimes.
Well, yeah. I
See
mean,
the ones I don't post.
so do you? Did you ever dabble in writing, comedy? I mean, outside of the Twitter stuff.
Well,
like
I mean, I had my blog for years. I did my blog for like 8-9 years.
Yeah.
And that kind of like, so my blog it's still up. It's called Fat Friend, PHAT Friend.
I remember the banner on there.
Yes,
with the girl at the end.
Which I got in trouble for.
Oh, really?
Which people complained about because of a picture of all these people jumping and this one heavy girl who wasn't jumping because she couldn't jump.
Yeah.
So people were like, that's fat shaming. So what I did is I put my face on her. So it's me not jumping. So look there, I'm not jumping.
Why do people ruin fun like that?
Because they're just sitting there like bored, like I'm gonna make someone fucking. I mean, I don't know, but I love doing that blog, and it's mostly like essays and stuff, and like rants. It was all rants.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like I started dealing with people just getting mad at everything, and I wasn't writing crazy shit. Like I was just writing opinion based stuff. Like I make fun of. Like I mean, I can't even think of I did a Fuck, Marry, Kill series.
Yeah.
And I would do people, and I would do inanimate objects.
Yeah.
I would never do men because it's all even.
Yeah.
And I probably could have done men. Like,
Yeah.
like in reality, I could have stepped back and done men.
But why would you want to? You shouldn't have to make people happy.
Exactly. I didn't do it for that.
Let a
purpose.
woman do that.
Yeah, like you could. I invited my friend to do a guest one.
Yeah.
She never did it, but like. It would have been fine. It would have been fine. Like I'd do like Fuck, Marry, Kill, like Florida, Alabama, like
Yeah.
And I did women, but sometimes they'd be attractive women, sometimes it'd be like B. Arthur and Betty White, like the Gold Girls, and
Right.
and I would write out descriptions of why I chose the things I did, and it was fun, and the absurdity is what was funny about it, and I think that got lost in a lot of people, and they just saw Fuck, Marry, Kill, and they're like, you're a frat boy piece of shit, and I'm like, you don't understand, like the absurdity is that I'm giving this stupid idea deep thoughts. I'm putting this like I'm trying to like actually reason with you why I would kill Sandra Bullock.
Right.
Like instead of Charlize Theron. Like why not? So like I just got tired of arguing with people, and I just stopped, and I was like, I'm done. I'm like every now and then I'll get inspired to write something, and I will, but like I just like, and I liked writing. It gave me kind of structure in my day. I'd wake up and write something every day, and you write,
I was blogging at the same time.
It's writing. Like
it's great.
It's good, yeah. And I'm a much better writer than I'm a speaker. Like the words don't always come when I'm talking, but like I liked it, but I just I got fed up with the dealing with people, dealing with the feedback from people, because the fucked up thing is like. You could get 10 I love thises and 1 I hate this, and like you're just like, man, fuck that one person.
Right. Right.
What did I do to them?
Yeah, the internet is good for making you focus on that. Mm-hmm. Like it's the same thing with music. Like you get 9 good album reviews, the one bad one stands out the most.
Oh yeah.
You're like, man, fuck.
You ever look into the guy who reviewed your shit?
I used to. I don't even read it anymore.
I don't get reviewed anymore. So
I'm just like, I'm not gonna look at this.
Just is. It exists.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good or a bad evolution.
I
think they're like it's out here.
I'd like to think we're both in a similar stage in our careers where like we're kind of above a certain level of criticism and below a certain level of criticism. Like we're not going to get the Anthony Fantano's not reviewing our albums. Yeah, but we're also not getting trolled for existing. Yeah. So we're kind of in that middle, like we got fans. Fans like our shit. Some fans like this more than the other thing, like one album, but like for the most part they're accepting of what we do, Yeah. and I'm cool with that. Like I like that middle ground. I like being kind of just, you know, you're not in harm's way, really.
Yeah, you're respected, but you're not big enough to where they can make their name off crushing you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we used to be in that other category.
Oh yeah,
where like we were coming up, and I can't remember who said this. It was somebody. They were just like, "Hey man, you only get to be new once," and
it's true.
You know, when we were new, we were sometimes we were getting great press, sometimes we were getting shitted on.
Oh yeah, I mean the harshest criticism I ever got was my second album, because that first one was loved, was a very well reviewed album. Yeah. Second one, admittedly, was not as good.
Yeah,
and I made it as a response to that album in my mind. I was like, I don't want to be this guy. I'm going to be this album. And the reviews kind of, you know, the reaction was like, a little aggressively, like, what are you doing? I mean, it didn't get like panned in that bad, but I'm saying like it was the first time I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
this can suck.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is like I would bet now that even if you look back, because there's sometimes if we look at those reviews, we say, okay, this might have not been my best work, but that totally discounts what the people think about that.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you can get bad press or the press doesn't get it, but the people love it.
Yes. Oh yeah. People come up to me and be like, that's my favorite album. I'm like, really?
See?
I'm like, oh, like that's okay. All right.
But yeah,
if you say so.
Yeah.
But you know, like, do you find you're aware of what albums of yours are better than other ones?
Only because the people tell me.
Oh no, you don't have a personal feeling toward them? Because I have actual personal feelings toward my albums.
Technically, as a producer, I can say, yeah, I was killing this one front to back.
Yes.
But then there's times where I'm like, yeah, on this one, my bars are crazy.
Right.
But I can never look at them and be like, this compared to this this is my best one.
Right,
because I think I've been so influenced by what people respond to at this point. I think I'm corrupted by now. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, I guess it's just fire. I'm gonna do it. What I think is dope, but once it's out there in the public sphere, I might be like, yeah, I didn't like that one. People are like, do that one. I'm like,
you're like, oh. You ever like go back and like be like, man, I mailed in that one a little bit. Like, or that song, like there's a song there's certain songs where I'm like, these drums were definitely not the best I could have done.
I never had that feeling in terms of that. If anything, I've had the opposite where it's like I overthought it.
Oh yeah, well that's a common thing.
Yeah, where I'm like, I did too much.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do all of that.
Yeah.
I was trying to prove something that was fucking ridiculous and stupid, and it sounds like that. I never had I didn't do enough. Always had I did way too fucking much.
I think my problem is that I'm way too comfortable with what I make that I don't question myself enough.
Yeah,
like I'll just be like, that's good. I'm never the guy that's gonna be tuning a hi-hat for 45 minutes. Like, I'll be like, turn the volume down. There we go. And then like that's literally like, and to a fault sometimes, because like I do put out a lot of shit. Yeah. And sometimes they'll be like you know, remixes sometimes. Like I would do remixes for people. I'll be like, okay. Well,
remixes are hard, man.
Remixes. I love remixing vocal stuff. Yeah. But remixing instrumental stuff is it's just weird. It's like, what, you want me to take that sample and make another beat? It doesn't. I do them, but I'm always just kind of strange. I feel strange about them as an idea, you know? Yeah. It is weird for instrumentalists. We're like, yo, I got a remix, and you know, this guy did what? Did that guy do the drums? And did you just? I don't get it. I'm super like I think people I've remixed have felt disrespected by how I've remixed them, because I'll literally take one thing, pluck it out, and then plug it into one of my beats, and that's my remix. There you go. Boom. As opposed to what are you supposed to? Well, as opposed to like just reimagining. I mean, I've had people remix my shit before. Actually, I got one recently. This a friend of mine remixed a song of mine, and he reimagined my shit in a really cool way. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I was actually that's a cool way to remix things. Okay. But in general, like when I do it, I don't like. I'm always like, you got any songs with vocals? I'll remix that one, because that's what I want to do. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I only want just give me the vocals. I don't even want to hear the song. Just give me the vocals, the BPMs. I'll figure it out. Yeah. You know. Do you ever go back to any of the songs or beats like I don't know, like the Daylight type era stuff, and be like, forget that you made it and listen to it almost like it's not you? Like, oh shit. Or do you kind of remember the process? I mean, the process, that's a different question. Like the process is something totally separate of that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know what? Actually, there's very few beats I remember making.
Yeah.
Daylight is one of them. But it's because there's like every now and then, like especially on the ASR 10 days, you know, there was no time stretching. So like sample matching was a arduous task where like you trial and error it, and it was and it's, you know, I did it on every song, and every now and then you come across something where you're like, oh. And I had that moment with like, I remember when I figured out the flute part on Daylight, I was like, oh shit, this is good. But I also was like, this is corny. But I was like, I remember like I was like, this made me feel something. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, okay. And I've had a couple moments like that in my, like maybe like 4 beats in my life that I can remember those moments in. Yeah. And otherwise it's all blur and I don't remember anything. Yeah. But I do, to answer your other question, going back to stuff, like if it's something I haven't listened to in a long time, like I haven't listened to Float in a long time. Yeah. And I'll go back and be like, oh, I did this beat. I'm like, oh. Shit, I don't remember this beat. Like I don't know what the fuck was I doing on this. Like, I don't remember. Like, or I'll be like, ooh, these drums. That's usually, ooh, these drums are kind of my initial reaction. But yeah, like I'm trying to think. I actually listened to Float again recently. I was just kind of going through it, like, oh, yeah. And I forget the Drawbridge, and that's a song with Ace and Dose One, and I forgot I made it, and I was listening, and I was like, this fucking beat is weird as shit. Like it's like an out of body experience. I don't remember. Like I don't remember what I was thinking when I made it. Like it felt weird, but it's cool though. It's cool to go back, and listen to that stuff and be like, oh, yeah. Sometimes you're like, damn, I was onto some shit back then.
Yeah. Sometimes it's either that, like, you'll be like, man, this is a weird one. Yeah. But then you'll be like, yo, I killed that. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I did not remember. Yeah. What was I on that day?
Yes. Exactly. But I feel I'll make beats and in a year later and look back and be like. What? How did I don't know how I made this? Yeah, and that's kind of my thing when I listen to other producers, like if I can't figure out how they did what they did, that's when I'm like, yo, like when I listen to RJ's fuck, what's the name of that song? Not Ghost, the Who Knows What Tomorrow Will Bring.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget the name of the song.
I know it is on. I know the song you're talking about.
So I know the sample. I know it's from. I can hear what he did. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, how did he do that? like he took that's a swing rhythm. That song's a swing rhythm. The sample's a swing rhythm. The beat is not in swing rhythm. Yeah. He chopped it in a way, and then he got the vocal. And I don't know how he filtered the shit out. Yeah. I don't know how he did anything on that song.
Especially with the MPC.
Dude, we were listening to our tour, and that came on someone's playlist in the car, and I was like, I haven't heard this in a while, and I was just like, oh shit, like man. What did he do? Yeah. And that's like, to me, those moments are few and far between where I'm like, I don't know how this person did it. Yeah. But then again, that works the other way when you hear a beat that like everyone loves and you're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. That's a loop.
Yeah, that's what I wonder as well. Like, do you hear certain things and you're just like, how did this hit? Out of all the beats I've made, like, especially, I didn't predict this one would have been the one that hit like that.
Oh yeah. Well, like an example of that would be on one of the albums I did with Billy Woods. He gave me a sample and was like, here, just loop this. Literally just gave it to me. I was like, all right, here. I gave it back to him. But it was technically produced by me because I did the whole album. And people would be like, yo, that beat is flames. I'm just like, it's not. I mean, it's a cool song. Yeah. But it is not like, I just literally like looped it and sent it back to him. Yeah. That's all I did. Like I tied his shoes for him. That's all I did.
But you know what? Sometimes that's it as a producer.
But doesn't it kind of hurt you a little bit when you make that?
Yeah. But that's why I said I get caught in the trap of doing too much sometimes. Yeah, because I think I'm trying to escape that feeling of this just looping this shit. Yeah. The guilt associated with it just being fire and me doing nothing.
I did some looping recently and it actually felt kind of nice. I purposely made I was like, I'm gonna make 5 beats in today. Yeah. And I made they're just loops, simple drums, maybe 2 layers on them, push them away. Yeah. And honestly, like 2 of those 5 beats have been picked already to be used. So I'm just like, all right.
That's dope. Yeah. That's the way it should be though.
But a good loop is never bad.
No. I mean, most of the stuff we grew up on is dope loops.
Yeah. And at this point, like in I'd say both of our careers, like we've done enough production wise that I can do that if I want to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've done every style that I could do within the spectrum of beat making that I've done. Like, so let me loop some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So your new album, one thing I noticed about it, especially makes more sense now that you've kind of mentioned it, there are periods where I feel almost like in a technical sense, the song composition is super smooth to the point to where I almost didn't even notice songs are transforming into other songs.
Yeah.
'Cause that was, I assume that was deliberate.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's all about the transitions, because like the idea is I'm taking these two songs that were not meant to be together.
Yeah.
And then kind of melding them together, and you got to find. I mean, like there is definitely a like a routine of how I make these songs. And like, you know, there's an equation to it, and I try to switch it up a little bit here and there, but like for the most part, like, you know, it's ebbs, it's like peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
But I love the valleys. Like I love making the valleys.
Yeah.
The peaks are fun too, but like just that deconstructing and that's kind of, it's the math. Like that's what I was saying earlier. Like this is all math. Like I'm literally looking at it like a graph. Being like, all right, you know, it's an equation. Everything's an equation.
But there were points where really every time it happened, I didn't expect it.
Oh, yeah.
So I would be in the other room doing something and it come on.
Is this a different song?
Yeah, I heard no silence in between. And I would just hear this thing changing and transforming. I'm like, wait a minute. Where did all of this come from? Where are we going here? And it would just be dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've been trying to do. Like since I discovered Ableton, that's been my goal, is to kind of make these songs that like you can't really gauge on a skim. You know, like you can't, like, you know, people listen on like iTunes, like they listen to like the 30-second blips of the songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't work for my music, because like, I mean, it could, I guess, but like you're selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hear one part, but also, you know, it also works against me sometimes, because people are like, I really like that part.
Right.
This part, don't love that part, and then, you know, so then they listen to that part and they turn the rest off. But yeah, I don't know, it just keeps it interesting, and like and create and also like there's like a journey aspect to it. You just start from here, and it feels like a different song by the end, but you don't feel like you're taken away from that feeling in the beginning.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, it's not jarring at all. I mean, now that you explain it like that, it kind of makes me think that like it's actually a better way of composing or compiling your ideas than just to pick this idea over this idea.
Yeah.
Which is what we usually do, right? We say, okay, I've got 30 beats. What are the best 15? Right. Instead, you're saying, I've got 30. How many pairs can I find in here? Can I find whatever? And if I can find pairs, then I don't have to throw away anything.
Right. And you can use as much or as little of those other beats. Like sometimes I'll have 4 beats together, and I'll just use these 2 parts from this beat that I liked, and it will fit this song, and I'll just scrap the rest of that, and that's that, you know. And everything, you know, it all has a purpose. It's all there for a reason. Like I think I've tried to trim the fat a little. Like on there's earlier albums when I was doing that where I was just trying to stuff as much stuff in as possible, because I was like, it's like for some reason I felt like indebted to the beat that I made. That I was like, I got to use your whole thing, man. Yeah, you too, and you, like, I'm getting 30 parts in here. But like now I kind of can pull away things. I'm like, that's not necessary. This isn't necessary. Like this is the focal point. You know, you kind of, you know, everything. This clarity comes with just time of making all this stuff. You know?
So I would ask this, like, okay, so you have these songs now. How does that have? Because essentially, the movement now of your albums mirrors the movement of your live show. Yeah. Do you ever find that do people get like, or I guess the question is, do you ever say, okay, well, this song has 2 parts. I'm just going to break this up and only do this one part? Or do you feel tempted to play it
for the live set?
Yeah, for the live set. Or
I cherry pick everything. Yeah. I mean, it all depends how it works in the live set. And a lot of the stuff I make doesn't really fit in the live set because it's slow or because the mood doesn't fit. And I kind of have to, it's hard to kind of incorporate some stuff. And there's songs I'll never play live because they just don't make sense live. You know? Like we were talking about earlier, like I can't have that, you know, 62 BPM slow jam, you know? But yeah, like my live set is set basically like a 75-minute song. Yeah. That goes up and down, and like, and it has all these flourishes, and then it gets intense, and like that, and my songs are like, you know, it's a very long, drawn out version of a song of mine, I guess, in a way, you know? But that's 100% Ableton. Yeah. Like Ableton has dictated that I could do that, and it's enabled me to do that, so I do it.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Yeah, I got that feeling last night watching you from the back. It was like within like a 5-minute period, you had played at least 5 to 7 songs.
Oh yeah. And mixing songs of mine from different albums together that were like that, and the thing is, like, it's it goes over one of two ways. Like people either are like psyched on it because they're like, oh shit, I've never heard this before, or they're like, why don't you play that song?
Yeah, the whole song.
Like, why don't you play the whole song as I know it, so I can just like when that part comes, I can get up. And I'm like, because I don't. That'd be boring. Like, then I'd be a DJ.
Yeah,
I'd be a DJ.
But at least it's your song.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the only good thing about it. Like, yeah, I've been on at shows like that with RJ where people will get mad if he doesn't play the whole version of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, look, I just got to play these horns.
Yeah.
So he'll pick a moment to just play the horns and not play the whole song sometimes, or just cut it off before it plays the whole thing.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's a tease. It's a tease, but it's also like, hey man, yeah, all right, I see you. It's like when Shadow was touring and he wouldn't play anything from introducing.
Wow, I didn't know
I'm
that.
like, man, that's bold. That's bold.
Yeah, that's how to piss people off.
Yeah, but he was doing like I think he did that for a little bit, and people were really upset about it.
Yeah, because as a fan,
and I wouldn't do that.
I get it as an artist.
Yeah.
I would do it as an artist.
Yeah.
As a fan, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, I don't know. I feel like this, and this is as a rapper, I've always felt like you can't be mad at people for liking the old shit because the old shit for a lot of it is why they're there.
Yeah.
You know, it speaks to a certain part of their time, and then it's like, yo, man, as a writer, it's my job to write some new hot shit so they forget the old shit. It's my job.
I mean, there's nothing better than someone being like, your new album's my favorite album you ever did. Like that's it's rare, but it's when I hear
your
that,
new
I'm like,
album is, I think it's gonna be that.
A lot of people, I've got a good feedback from it, but like it's so rare. Like I love every time I put out a new album and someone's like, this is my shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, good, because 80% of people are like, your first album,
right?
And like, you know, I get it. Like albums, you know, they take a time and space in your life. And I was in college, I broke up with this girl, and this is the album I listened to get over it, or like whatever. And like that album resonates with them in that moment. And like, and then my third album might do that for someone else, and it's totally arbitrary. And you know,
it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's difficult to surpass that early shit.
Well, but we were talking about this yesterday briefly about how like when you put a new album out and perform. Like, do you play only the new stuff? Yeah. And like we both were like, nah, we don't do that.
No.
But like I don't do that out of just like I wouldn't want to deal with the backlash of that.
Yeah.
And because you know they're there to see everything, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I think a set moves better. I've had periods where I did that. Like in 2011, when I did my Adventure in Counterculture record, I went out with Atmosphere and I played one old song. Yeah. Last song on the set. I had 40 minutes. The first 35 was the new record. Yeah. And people were looking at me like, and I was like, and when I got done, they were like, okay, that was really dope. Yeah. But at that moment, they were like, nah.
Did it help sell the record?
Yeah, it helped. It brought a lot of attention to the new record because it was so jarring. Yeah. But what I found was like 6 months later, when I started blending those songs into the old catalog, they hit even harder.
Yeah. I think the same way. I mean, like, often there'll be people at my shows. I have a lot of people come to my shows who've never heard me before for some reason.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, be like, I've never heard you before, but I came here alone. I'm like, all right. And then afterwards, they'll be like, oh, that was cool. I mean, sometimes they'll come up and be like, oh, that was cool. So, like, what album is this from? And I'm like, well, there's 10 of them. Yeah. And I've got 3 of them here, and they're kind of parts of it. Like I can't even, I just sell whatever I have the most copies of. I'll be like, this one, that one. Yeah. Like, take that one off my hands.
Right. Whatever I make the most money off of.
Take the newest one. Take the newest one.
Like, oh, I make $3 per CD on this one. Yeah. Oh, I make $8 for that one. Yeah. This is the one you want. This one. I got the biggest cut on that one.
Also, check out Spotify.
Yeah. Check out Spotify. Or maybe don't go to Spotify. Buy the vinyl for $30.
Buy the vinyl and listen on Spotify.
Yeah. Right.
If it's not this one, it'll be another one.
Yeah, that's dope. So, like, you've been on how many different labels now?
Let's see, Ninja Tune. Yeah. I mean, I did something on Mush way back in the day. I guess technically Def Jux because I did the Party Fun Action Committee on Def Jux. Yeah. Backwoods. Yep. And this label out of Detroit, Young Heavy Souls. Yeah. They did some represses for me, and I put one out myself, which I'll never do again. Fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. Like, you have no desire to do that kind of lifting.
I hate business.
Yeah, because you've always had like a manager and things of that nature, and booking agent.
I don't want to deal with anything. Like, I don't like business. I don't like dealing with money.
Yeah.
If I trust you, you'll deal with my money for me.
Yeah.
I'm not confrontational. I don't like arguing with people.
Yeah.
I don't like bickering. I don't like fucking arguing for what's mine or what's owed to me and all this stuff. And I also don't like rejecting people. I don't like being like, sorry, man, like I can't do your remix. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So so I have a manager for that. That's his job. That's really all he does. he deals with contracts, he deals with money. Like I've had him for like since 2001. I think.
Yeah.
And we're old friends, you know.
Yeah.
And like he just does this specific thing. Like he doesn't like I think there's managers now that like would be managing my social media that like do all this stuff, but I don't want people doing that part. I want to do that part, but you know, it's yeah, I like to be I'm hands off.
Yeah.
I'm hands off with everything. I'll deal with the social media stuff because I enjoy it, but anything else, I don't want.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, honestly, most artists I think don't want to deal with that
Because that's not artist brain, really. You know. You know.
No, I mean,
you gotta force yourself to that. Like,
yeah, or have your back against the wall.
Yeah.
You become a really good businessman when you need to make money to eat.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Like
that's
you'll learn if you have to, but I don't think that necessarally creates good art.
No, I don't think so
that's
either.
the best for the
Dude,
art.
that's why I started touring a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh shit, money's not coming in anymore. And I was like, I better start touring. Like around 2008, I was like, I think I might. Do I have to get a job?
Yeah.
And
well,
then I started touring. I was like, oh no, I'm good.
That's when the bottom kind of fell out of the sales industry.
Yeah.
Right around 07, 08.
But it's kind of coming. Like I'm making money off streams, man.
Yeah.
Streams, like
for an instrumentalist like you.
yeah, man. I'm
Oh
just
man,
me. I'm
the
one
playlist
person.
life is just
Yeah, man.
beautiful. Guys like you, DiBiase, all my guys
Yeah.
who do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I look at their Spotify numbers; they're incredible.
Yeah.
and
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like these
awesome.
dudes can just do that and make passive income off that. You know, but
I mean,
touring helps. You know, what I'm saying?
touring is. I mean, it'll be nice. Assuming people keep listening to my music over the years, but like in like 10 years when I don't want to tour anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, 10, to be honest, 3 years. But it'll be nice because it's free money.
Yeah,
It's free money. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just coming in, and it's not a lot. I couldn't live off it, but it's like I also don't spend a ton of money in my life, so
yeah,
it helps. It definitely helps. You know.
yeah.
That buys meals. You know. That buys,
No, that's still
pays bills and stuff.
and allows you to make music at your
Exactly.
leisure to where you don't have
Exactly.
that pressure. Because I mean, you've been on multiple labels. I'm curious about like what are some of the biggest things you've learned in working with different labels?
So the people that put out my new record are this label Future Archives, and they're it's all artists.
Okay.
It's made by artists, and their focus is on streams.
Yeah,
I mean, they do vinyl, they press everything up, but like they are specifically like, our job is to get people on playlists.
yeah,
And we're gonna push that and get you plays, and that's how they generate the money.
yeah,
And when they told me that, I was like, yes, I'm in on that, because I knew I could get the vinyl anywhere. And they also, you know, and they have presence in Europe too, which is big for me because I have a presence in Europe, but never have had since Ninja Tune. I haven't had like been able to distribute my music there,
yeah,
unless it was like expensive and whatever. So those two things were kind of like, all right, let me try this out, and it's been great so far. Like it's like the streams have been great.
yeah,
Like the music's getting around. Like people are actually like aware of it, and
Yeah.
and you know, like we didn't do like publicity.
yeah.
There's no like
Your show was packed last night.
yeah, shit was good.
And you said Indianapolis popped. It's been a good tour, right?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, Cincinnati was okay, but it was also we also played in like a church that fit 600 people.
Yeah, wrong room.
Big, way too big. But I mean, the shows have been good. I mean, we'll see. Listen, I don't want to speak.
You got a ways to go.
I got some possible fucking real bummers coming up.
So how many more dates you guys got coming up?
We got 5 more on this leg.
Okay.
And then I go home for a couple days, and then go to the south and do I think 8 or 9 days.
Okay.
And then chilling for a little bit, and then I do like a couple spot weekends here and there. But like, yeah, I mean, you know, the major tour I did a month in Europe.
Okay.
And that was the major part of it. You know?
Okay.
Everything else is like 2 weeks.
That's dope.
You know,
Hell yeah.
2 weeks is my new.
That's the new.
That's my new maximum.
Mine are like
That's
9 or 8.
Yeah, you're
But
crazy.
then I'm done after that. I'm like,
I get that. When I book these tours, I'm like, like I don't think about it in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we lined up 4 weeks in a row for you. I'm like, sure, do it. And then
Yeah.
like it comes, I'm like, oh no, who's gonna get my mail?
right.
Like,
What am I going to do?
How am I gonna pay bills? Like all that stuff, you know.
Well, you're making money, Tony.
Yeah,
So-
send it back. I'll just pay late fees. Here you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's something.
No, that's dope. Well, yeah. Well, that's all I had, man.
Huh?
That's it.
Hey.
The new record.
Oh, it's called
tell the people about it.
Yeah, my new record's called Bubble Bath.
Yeah.
And it's on Future Archives. It's available everywhere. And I just put out an EP called Tiny Bubbles, which is 2 songs. There was kind of 2 bonus tracks.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
it's a dope record.
Oh, thank you.
It's a really dope record.
I like it.
I think it's your best.
It's mellow.
The composition of it is really impressive.
Thank
and
you.
now that I know how you were doing it, yeah, I'm like, okay, now I get it. Like, how the fuck did he do this?
Well, as an Ableton guy, I think you'd be like, oh, of course, this.
It's just like twice the work I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's my we got methods, right? We all got methods.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I didn't get it at first. Like, is he really doing double work? Yeah, it's like 3 songs.
Yeah, 3 songs. It's very much
in one. Yeah. Nice. So you're on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
I'm Blockhead NYC on all things, except for I'm the real Blockhead on MySpace. I mean, MySpace.
MySpace? You just get back to MySpace?
Facebook. I'm the block is hot on MySpace.
Really?
I was /the block is hot.
That's great.
It's still there. I check that like once a year just to see what's going on there.
I think mine is gone. I don't know who took it down.
I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
Just accruing bots.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of getting spammed.
Yeah.
Every day.
But yeah, it's there.
Nice. So yeah, go support Blockhead, his new record, and I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.